in New York Times paper today, there is this European agriculture that has changed their concepts of genetics at Harvard University, and I'm not surprised that they're going to get very philosophical and become very laymanish in the concepts. They just don't understand what they're seeing, right? First of all, I don't think the world is all that old, 35,000 and all this kind of stuff they're going on with. But the bottom line is this. They saw in Europe where the doors were shorter and they suspect that people were short and now they became taller and therefore it's some genetic, according to them it would be a genetic thing. But the real reason is that incest was so prevalent in these areas that all kind of bizarre things would start coming forth when you start incest. But when they start to migrate and other people start to, immigrate, you find that there's going to be a change in the genetics and things are going to improve. The Mayans, for example, they became miniaturized because of incest. But if they had allowed others to come into the tribe and so on and bring in a new set of genetic material, I'm sure that the longevity and a whole bunch of other things would have changed, the susceptibility to disease, etc. So when Harvard is talking like this, I'm just wondering if they're serious scientists or they're not just philosophers. And it goes to show that when you look at the Iraqi and Middle East incursions, these guys from Yale, they don't seem to have studied nothing about the Middle East. In high school, we studied about the Crusades, and you learned that you can't go into the Middle East and win. You just don't go in there except, life and death. And so again, here I have Harvard now coming up with this philosophical genetics. I think they're wrong. I think that they're not understanding what they're seeing, and they're wrong. They need to become scientific again and understand that the only way you could affect the genes is by sex. You can't, for example, I was speaking to a guy here in the story saying that people of light skin, if they stay in the sun for generations, they can develop melatonin or whatever, dark skin and so forth. So what about if blacks go into Europe without a lot of sun? Would we get white? And Europe has enough sun to expose themselves so that they could have gotten this melatonin or whatever it is that we black folks have. So I just don't think that these guys at Harvard know what they're talking about, and they need to go back to school, study the work, and don't just party for the early stages in the education. Then when they become doctors, now they want to, speculate and come with a whole bunch of garbage talk. So this is not correct.